Hello, this video is brought to you by my Patreon supporters. Minasan, hontou ni arigatou gozaimasu. Today is September 27th, 2023. My name is Kurt, and this is my daily Good Life meditation, an exercise that I do each and every morning a little bit after waking up. It's now 4:49 a.m. I do this to remember my life objectives and principles, those which are outlined in my book, Going Alone. And you can get a copy at the link above. And if you don't see a link, there's one down in the description. I also use this time to think about the last 24 hours and how I did with the various challenges and opportunities that I met along the way. I then reflect on the coming day to forecast where the tricky bits might be so I can ready myself, and also, very importantly, to prepare myself for the tricky bits and the challenges, the opportunities that I can't see, where I'll have a chance to use and improve my better self. I conclude by readying myself for death. But before I do all of that, I would like to read a poem. Sticking with Edward Thomas, I'm going to read a short poem this morning called The Source. I will confess I don't understand this poem. I'm going to read it to you, and if you understand it, maybe you can share in comments what you think it is about. It's just 2 short paragraphs. In fact, 2 sentences, 2 long sentences and 2 short paragraphs. Something about the wind and the rain and the forces of nature. Here we go. The Source. All day the air triumphs with its 2 voices of wind and rain. As loud as if in anger it rejoices, drowning the sound of earth that gulps and gulps in choked endeavor vain to swallow the rain. Half the night, too, only the wild air speaks with wind and rain, till forth the dumb source of the river breaks and drowns the rain and wind, bellows like a giant bathing in mighty mirth, the triumph of earth. I think I get it. That second paragraph there, second sentence, is talking about a flash flood, I think, or a great flood that's coming down from the mountains. So all day and half the night, the wind and the rain held sway. And then around midnight, a flood came and swept all those powers aside. That's why it's called The Source. I think that's what it's about. Leave a comment and let me know if you think, what you think. Okay, let's move on to yesterday and last night. So it was a good, solid day of work yesterday. I did really good yesterday at work. I really focused on my tasks. I'm very pleased with all of that. In addition, during my break, the afternoon break, I have a 20-minute break in the morning and another 20-minute break in the afternoon. I dove in and tried to log into the Social Security Administration account and was successful. And that was the 3rd piece of the puzzle to figure out how our status of retirement, and looks like we're good. Now, I did trespass a little bit in best practice territory that I usually don't go over in best practice. I made a video in the evening at the beach talking about that. I wanted to capture that feeling, and I did. That video really captured what probably going to be, in hindsight, after I get over the fact that I talked about this stuff at all, it'll probably be a treasured video in terms of capturing that moment of realization that freedom is near. Plus, I didn't talk about the panic feeling inside that maybe I'm going to get sick because I'm having medical issues still and won't be able to enjoy that freedom. But so maybe I'll try to capture that in other videos. But I successfully captured that feeling at the beach of just exaltation. It's like, yes, it's really going to happen. We can really retire. Mixed with all kinds of other feelings, like the knowledge that I shouldn't think like this, that it's a scheme for society to squeeze the best out of you and then toss you away to die. That's not the case. That's not the case at all. This is just the case that we each have to spend our time at the front, doing our tour of duty, and then we can be discharged. Yeah, sure. We might be a broken, worn soldier by the time we get discharged, but what else could I expect, right? What else could I expect? And also it makes sense, well, let me finish that sentence. What else could I expect of this age? This is the age, 60, when the body begins to decline. It's interesting that it's interesting to me that I spent time, I was at my break in mid-afternoon breaking through the Social Security system to see my account, to see that green light, literally a green light that they put on there to say, you're good, Kurt, good whoever. And then at 5:30 to have them the web conference with the doctor to talk about my medical issues. It's like, wake up, look, a beautiful sunrise, black smack. It's a beautiful sunset, more apt. Anyway, I was disappointed that I shared the video. Making the video and sharing it on YouTube was sufficient. Later in the evening, I elected to have a glass of wine, which I haven't been having anything to drink for a couple of days, just because I didn't want it. I elected to celebrate a little bit with a glass of wine, and when I did that, I then shared that video on social media, and I went back and I removed those from social media. It's okay. YouTube is my more intimate venue. What I share there, I can share just about anything there. The reason I'm sensitive about this retirement one is because there's people out there, and I know they're there because they talk to me, and it just makes sense that there's who can't enjoy this, aren't in a position to retire. They're my age, or not yet at least, and I feel for them, and I like to kind of just keep quiet about this. On the flip side, I like to share this as an encouragement and a cautionary tale for younger people to prepare. Like part of what I was saying in that video yesterday was suggesting for the young to make sure that they're putting the money aside, and that they're also keeping records, careful records. Sounds like an excuse. Sounds like something, I don't know. In my day when I was coming up, I never heard people talk about this. People just got old and stopped working. And I had heard about this from some, that it was good to set it aside, which is why I did. The little that I did, it really compounded and made a huge difference in the end. Yet, I feel for those that aren't in this position. I don't want to be. I want to be sensitive to that. So, I wish I had had better sense not to share that on social media. So I took it off. I think I'll leave yesterday at that. There was other things that happened, but they're incidental, I believe. So let's move on to the good life. 8 objectives, that is, 35 principles. These are the objectives: to be always ready to die, to make good and effective use of time, to develop and maintain good and sound life principles, to cultivate good emotional reactions, to perform good actions, to recognize true limits and true opportunity, to do just one thing at a time and do that thing slowly and deliberately and carefully, and to maintain my balance. My 35 principles are, let's count them, see how I'm doing. Well, I have 35 check marks at the end. War, reason, homunculus, anchor hold, home of good and evil, purpose, atomic principle, principle of nature, the pirate ride, maturity, the social principle, the principle of family, public speaking, temperance, life will not go well, the horror show, that which must be borne, the feast of woeful, distraction, agency in the great indifference, the best seat in the house, the restless man, the path of wildness, the great life adventure, the risk of avoiding risk, sin and damnation, complete oblivion, the season of philosophy, script writing, the bullseye aim, the uphill climb, arena and utility, nothing is enough, the principle of fun, and to be ready. How'd I do? 35. All right. That's pretty good, especially given that I've done a couple of adjustments lately. And usually, even the slightest adjustment to the order or the contents of the Good Life Creed tends to muck me up for a couple of weeks. I've got my footing. As for today, good news in terms of, well, I guess I'll go ahead and say it. Good news in terms of I got alignment with a project that I don't need to go into too much detail. I'll just top it off and say I've got alignment into a new project that I like, that I think I can really contribute to, and I can really do some good use. And that makes me feel good. I like to feel productive and helpful. I think I can rise to a new level of maturity with this project. I feel it. I feel it's like it's a breakthrough possibility. And hopefully this might be one of my if not my very last project. My last big project is over. This is a medium to big size project, medium-sized project. I think I can rise to a new level. So I'll be focusing on that today. What do I anticipate to ambush me today? Restlessness. I'm generally a restless person. I want to be doing something. That the old, the principle of the restless man, that's me. It's a good type of restlessness. It's the type that keeps my feet moving. Oh, I know something I need to do today. I need to reach out and talk to that doctor again yesterday. It was an interesting meeting with the doctor yesterday. He basically told me I shouldn't be feeling pain where I'm feeling pain, which I thought it was absurd at first. He's a urologist, and I've got problems with my man parts. And he said, that shouldn't be painful. The thing that the ultrasound revealed shouldn't be painful. And he asked me point blank, he says, is there anything else going on with your body? And I thought, my initial reaction, this is where I'm not being reasonable. I'm not being reasonable. My initial reaction was, you're an idiot, doctor. I didn't say or even think that. That's just the way it's coming out now. To say it more accurately, I thought, you're not listening to me, doctor. You're not hearing me. I thought this guy isn't I wasn't impressed. Doctor, I'm feeling pain here. This is the place that I'm feeling the pain. And he was telling me that shouldn't be painful. And he said, what else is going on in your body? And I ignored that, and I pushed him towards surgery to have the thing remedied that is the issue. Have the cysts removed, which we may still want to do, but he told me there are consequences to that as well. But I may still want to do it. But he said, that shouldn't be the pain. And then I was out walking in the evening with Yumiko, and I told him the pain gets worse the longer I walk. And I was walking with Yumiko, and I had told her about all of this, and then about about 3/4 of the way through the walk, the pain was rising, my typical pain. I heard his words saying, what else is going on? And I focused on the pain, and I realized the pain wasn't quite where I thought it was. The pain is in a different spot. He was onto something when he said that. What else is going on in your body? He was soliciting me to think outside the box because he knew that what I was describing should not be causing pain. And I think now in hindsight that he's right. So I want to reach out to him and talk to him again and say, doctor, I don't know, how do I say it? I'm sorry that I didn't hear what you were saying. You opened my, I'm going to spin it differently. I'm going to say, hey, doctor, the thing you said to me yesterday opened my eyes. And during the walk, I was more sensitive to it. And I think you're right. I think it might be, in fact, instead of being my left testicle, that's the problem, it might be a joint on my left side, maybe my hip or something. I don't know, something over there, just a little bit. It's close, right? It's like not where the man part is, but just a little bit to the left. And I was like walking and I was in pain and I was like moving things around and I'm going, wow, this really isn't what I think it is, I don't think. Maybe that doctor's right. There's a lot of stuff wrapped up in that, the principle of reason, to use my reason to listen, to say, hey, listen, this guy's an expert. I mean, he's not just a general doctor, he's a specialist. I should really listen to what he's saying, what he's telling me, and listen to his questions. It doesn't mean he's not wrong. I mean, it doesn't mean he's right in pushing me away from what I think it is. But I should listen to him, and I did. I think it all went the way it should go, right? Because I didn't have any reason to think otherwise than what I thought. And I could go on and tell you in another 5 minutes to talk about why I thought it was my left testicle as well, because it's been compounded. It was kind of a coincidence that the issue that I had with the hernia compounded its pain there. Also, the issue that I've got, the cysts are there. The thing that I thought was misdiagnosed as a vascular was there, and he confirmed. He also looked at that. He's a specialist, right? So everybody that said it was a vascular before that were not specialists, not urologists. He's a urologist, and that's not what it is. He says it kind of looks like it, but it's not. So I should listen to this guy. I'm going to listen to this guy. Okay. Enough of that. So today I'm going to work hard. I'll call up the doctor, or I'll call up the Kaiser during my break, and I'll make an appointment to talk to the doctor again. Good. I'll set myself straight. Try to figure out what's going on with this. And if it turns out that this is something that's just a thing, then when I get to Japan and spending my life walking all around Japan, I'll get a bike. An electric bike? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe an old-fashioned bike. I like the old ones. We'll see. Although I might just get an electric bike to keep up with Yumiko. I think I'll stop there. Oh, I forgot. Am I ready for death? Are my affairs in order? Yeah, especially now with the Social Security thing. Really in order now. I didn't realize how out of order it was until I did that. Are my relationships sound? Yeah. And is my life's work complete? Definitely. Have a great day. Be safe, but not too safe. Take care.